Alrighty, folks. I think it's time I do a walkthrough on my little build I did here. Started right after Memorial Weekend and finished it up. I want to say just about after Labor Day weekend. We've used it a couple times just to get a crash course done on, work some bugs out. But after having a big 28-foot travel trailer for few years, I just got sick of pulling it around. Got sick of trying to figure out if it's going to fit in the site and just the fuel consumption that it takes to get it from point A to point B. So we started watching some YouTubes and just got the idea. I mean, I love tent camping, but I also love being dry and off the ground, having something solid around us. So, um, yeah, we'll get this walkthrough started here. Started out, we bought this as a pop-up, pulled it out of somebody's woods. It had been sitting there for about 2 years, and it was pretty infested with critters and just absolutely disgusting. So I ripped it right down to the frame, painted the frame up, did some wire wheeling, and I used some undercoat paint, painted the frame up, so hopefully that'll last a few years. And threw a drawing together on an idea. I wish I would have had a CAD program. I had to measure things out a little bit better, but it was a kind of piece it together as I go and figure it out type of deal. After watching lots of YouTubes and getting different ideas from this and that, this is what we came up with. Still some work that needs to be done on it. Up here, I do want to get a toolbox for some more tongue weight. We can store some stuff up here. So that'll go in place of the battery box in this tube. I got my little awning mat, a little 6x8 in that tube there. I need some more tongue weight because, as you can see, I didn't exactly plan out my weight ratio right because it has a rear kitchen in it. So all that weight is behind the axle. I might have 70 pounds of tongue weight. So these two 30-pounders are full. I got two AGM batteries in here, and I can literally pick this trailer up with one hand. So I think a toolbox up there with some weight in it's going to help that out a ton. Other than that, I mean, this thing tows great. I got the whole wide pop-up tires on there. On the inside, again, I got two 30-pounders, two AGM batteries in there. On the inside, we've just got a full-size mattress. This mattress folds up into three, actually I believe four. It'll fold up into a little couch. If it's raining or something, I can fold that up and we can sit and hang out in there. I put this tile in here for a little bit of airflow under the mattress. Haven't tested that out yet. Last camping trip we did, aka the first camping trip we did with this, we noticed a lot of condensation under the mattress when we got home. I did insulate the floor. I got 1.5 inches of insulation under the flooring. So condensation is definitely something that we're going to be combating and learning as we go. Got a couple USB reading lights up here. Nice little touch lamp. Got the little blue night light. A little spotlight. And like I said, it's got the USB under there for charging some devices. On the inside, I got to put a 12-volt port in the back here because we got a little 300 watt. Maybe it's 150 watt. I can't remember. A little tiny inverter for a vehicle. So I'm going to put that in there because that will actually power up because we don't have a heat source. We've got a heated mattress pad on here that runs off this. And this is really low wattage. I believe it's only 105 watts. Yeah, 105 watts when it's on high. So this electrical system is perfectly capable of it, even with the little inverter when we're out dry camping. And let me tell you, that little mattress heater heats this thing up quick with two bodies. We've already camped in some cold weather. It got down to 28 degrees, and I had it on 3. Now it goes all the way up to 9. I had it on 3, and I had to turn it off because we were roasting in here. Little condensation around the doors, so I gotta work on that, work on some airflow. 2 emergency exit windows. I got the doors and windows off of a RV surplus place up in Traverse City. Got a little vent fan up there. That'll take air in or push, it'll push air out or take air in. It's bi-directional fan. Lights here, so I did this little red light for easy on the eyes at nighttime. And of course, the white light for when we need some brighter light. But really, we use these a lot because that puts enough light in here for us. I do have 110 outlet in there if we're hooked up to park power. I thought about putting an inverter in here. That may be in the future if we need it. I've got a 1,000-watt inverter. I may or may not need that. We really don't need a whole lot of power. The only thing that absolutely needs power in here is the heated mattress pad. But like I said, that can run off the little 150-watt vehicle inverter that we have. I just got to get a 12-volt plug in here. I put the 12-volt plug on the outside because I do some RC events and stuff, and I've got a battery charger for that, and that plugs into the 12-volt port. So I just got to get one on the inside here. As I said, emergency escape windows on both sides, doors right here, so you really ain't going to need those for emergency. It's just I like the open out windows. That way if it's raining, you know, we can still leave the windows open and get some airflow in here. We do plan on doing some winter camping, so it'll be nice for when it's snowing. I've got a vent lid up on top here, so that can be open at all times when it's raining or snowing. Still some upgrades I gotta do. We want to camp it in a few times, figure out where everything's gonna go. I need to put a key rack in here to hold up keys. This shelf here, as you see, it's blocking my electric panel. This is removable. It's just kind of a temporary thing. We got these fabric mesh totes to put our clothes and stuff in. That's just so we can move it if we need more room. Works really good. You see I got a panel behind there. Let me turn the light back on. You can see the screws in that panel behind there. So I got a gas electric fridge in the back of this thing in the rear kitchen. So that's just access to that. It's all sealed off, so no worry about carbon monoxide. Vented properly. I got the fridge vent up there. Amber exterior light on both sides. I did leave the original pop-up jacks there just because, again, we got a lot of weight on the back here, so when we're camping I put those down so this thing doesn't do wheelies on us. Rear kitchen here, got a lock. I got a decent door there. I made that door myself. I couldn't find one online that I wanted, so I just built this door myself with some extra lumber and stuff I had laying around. Regular gas electric fridge. Haven't quite figured out what I want to do about storage under here yet. I think I'm going to put a couple drawers maybe, but I got all my gas and water, so I can't totally block this off. Again, camp a few times, figure out where I want everything. A couple things I would have done on this build that I would do differently if I do it again. I would go a foot taller and a foot longer, just because I built the box 4 feet high just for ease of materials, really. I wish I would have went 5 feet high just because of this rear kitchen. The area here on this stove, I mean, it's okay. We've cooked here. It's just I wish I had a little more, and then I could put some cabinets up back here for plates and silverware and cups and stuff. I got a little flip-up sink here. There's that cooktop, on-demand water heater. There's that 12-volt plug. Doesn't have an antenna, but I had this, so that's what I used. Pump switch, outlet. The drain here to drain the gray water, and that's a vent there for the fridge, so you get the airflow that goes up and behind and then up through the roof there. I've got a little latch system here. I was going to do a hurricane hinge and lift the door up, but again, because this thing is so short, like this is about 5.5 foot right here. So the fold-up door just wasn't going to work. That's why I designed this door the way I did. Little latch So you have to close this door first, and I did that. It's really nice because when we're, heading out to go camping for the weekend, I stop at a grocery store, I can open this door up right here. I got direct access to my refrigerator. Really handy. So I like how I set that up. I did do a propane port on the back here because I do have it's an off-brand Blackstone. I think it's called a Greystone, 22-inch cook griddle that we cook with. I use that more than I'll use the stove on the inside here. So that's what that port's there for. I also have a Coleman stove, but as most people know, you can't use the Coleman stoves with the low pressure in RV systems. So that gets its own little propane tank. I've got adapters and stuff for that. 110 volt hookup. That's all I need for this. I don't need no 30 amp. Really, it's just to charge the batteries up. I will probably never use the outlets. I mean, if we have power available at the campsite, I'll use it. I charge everything up mostly with solar. So, I mean, I had to put that plug in just to power up the converter, really. This right here, so it's not really a city water hookup. It's just a hookup for, because I don't have an onboard tank. I've got my 7-gallon tote here, and then I drop a hose into that, hook that up, and the pump will suck that in through my water system. I did remove the screen's in there, but I removed the check valve out of there so that the pump doesn't struggle to pull that check valve. So I just cut that out, and it sucks water out of there, and then again drains into the gray water tank. One of the biggest stipulations was wifey wanted a outdoor shower, or well, she wanted a shower, so I put an on-demand water heater. Not my favorite brand of water heaters, but this is what I had, so that's what I'll use. I may upgrade to a different style someday, but right now that's what I had, so that's what I'm using. The biggest thing is just I got to run hot water and set the temperature on the panel, and keep that water flow going. But outdoor shower, I do have a little tent that we're going to use here. We'll set that up for our showering outdoors, and potty and whatnot if we're out and don't have restrooms available. So that's a nice little fixture. Another thing I didn't really think of is, you got your outdoor shower set up here. You got this exhaust coming out. So that's something we're just going to have to be careful and work around. But we're outdoors, so we should have plenty of airflow. Again, emergency windows on both sides, doors on both sides just for ease of access and everything. Sealed it up really good. This is another thing I should have done a little differently too, because when we park, we have the nose up just for our heads. You don't want the blood rushing your head in the middle of the night and getting headaches. One thing I didn't think of is I should have wrapped this aluminum around this corner here so that it drains. It's something I noticed. One of the events I went to in our maiden voyage camping trip is we got water pooling right here, and then it runs down. I can't put a gutter here because of this door. Again, I should have went a foot higher. So that's something that I'm going to have to learn to deal with. Maybe I can do something a little different here. I mean, we could switch the sides of the beds that we put our heads on and put this, rear end high, so the water, because I did wrap on the front, I wrapped down a little bit so that the water drains off. I really should have done that on the rear. Again, this is my first build, so a lot of learning here. Things I do differently next time. I do plan on building another one. This project was so much fun. Shout out to everybody that had a hand in this. I had, the metal was given to me from a friend that we bartered a little bit. I had some stuff that he wanted, and he gave me all the metal to do this trailer. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to wrap it with just aluminum or if I wanted to do poor man's fiberglass. I didn't really want to do poor man's fiberglass. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. It's messy. I don't think it's going to last as long as I'd like it to. So I went with the aluminum siding. I could have went with the fiberglass siding too. I was looking at just the sheet metal for cargo trailers, and that was expensive. I was really trying to go budget build with this. Honestly, with everything I've got into it, I might have 1,800, $2,000 tops into this build. Like I said, I had a lot of things given to me, which I'm very grateful for. Really, the most expensive part of this was the doors and windows I got from the surplus company. The lumber for the main build. So I did 3/4 inch treated plywood for the flooring. I painted the bottom of it with undercoating, so this thing's gonna stay dry. Just the materials. That was really the biggest expense. The pop-up itself, I paid $100 for the pop-up. Didn't get a title with it, so that's kind of a little bit of a headache with Secretary of State. But I got it plated, so we're good now. Axles, I may go a little bit bigger on the axle. I don't know. I didn't leave a whole lot of room for adjustment there. I did have to buy brand new tires for it. The tires that were on it, the previous owner said they were brand new, but again, it sat in the woods for 2 years, and yeah, we just didn't want to chance it. We're gonna be putting some miles on this thing, so I just went ahead and bought some new tires and wheels. It was like $200 at a local trailer supply store. The bearings, I repacked those, but they're not. I need to put new bearings on it. That's still, I need to do that before our next trip because the bearings are shot. They roll, but it's only a matter of time before the driver's side especially falls off on me. That wheel wobbles a lot, and it should not wobble at all. All in all, this is a great little trailer. Our maiden voyage, we had quite a rainstorm. We did not get wet. I did not see any water on the inside. So, as an RV technician, I know how these things need to go together. I sealed it pretty darn well. It's dirty from sitting in the garage and whatnot. But sealed really well, kept us dry. The only issue I really had was right here. Where that water pulled up, it came down, and it's actually running down and under. When I had the doors open, it ran down this hinge. This isn't a weatherproof hinge. So I noticed that when I got home and we were unpacking and getting everything dried out, I did notice that there's a little bit of water getting in this corner. It's the only spot I noticed water, and I think it's running down this hinge here and into that corner. So that's really something I need to address. I seen water coming up this rail here, so I gotta pull this off, or at least pull the screw trim off, because I'm wondering if it's getting in the screws and coming in the wall that way. So I gotta investigate that a little more. I want to get that and make sure that's dry and not rotting anything. And on-demand water heater. I don't have it turned on right now. It's winterized. Got my pump down there. Power center. Let's just look at my plumbing. Honestly, my first build was really thrown together. It was kind of a crash course, and like I said, a lot of learning, a lot of discovering. I work on trailers for a living. This was my first home build. Gosh, I learned so much. My next build will hopefully be much better, but gosh, this thing really does amazing for little camping trips. Like I said, it's better than a tent. You're up off the ground, you're warm, you're dry. And we don't sit in the trailer all day on our devices playing. We're out and enjoying nature. That was the biggest push for this build, was when we go camping, we want to be outdoors. You know, we can sit on our butts at home and stare at our phones all day long. When we go camping, let's go out and do stuff. And that was the biggest thing with this build. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. First, this is my first YouTube video too, so I'm excited to kind of maybe start growing this channel and sharing our adventures. I see a lot of people, I follow a lot of people and watch their adventures, and gosh, it's so much fun getting out and exploring what our world has to offer. Yeah, still a work in progress. So like I said, I want to camp in it a few times, figure out where I want to put things. I might put a little TV or device holder up there, just, you know, for those rainy weekends where we want to you sit in here. We don't want to go home, but we want to sit and enjoy ourselves. I'll put something up there. I'm going to put a key rack, something to hang our keys on. Probably put a little shelf up here because, like I said, this has the USB ports, but there's nowhere to set our phones yet to charge those up. So that's, again, it's a work in progress, and there's going to be a lot of memories made with this trailer. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, appreciate everybody that contributed to this project. A lot of people were excited when I started talking about it. A lot of people on Facebook followed me and really enjoyed watching my posts. Oh, I forgot to mention my RC guy, Jeff Brown. I stopped and picked up, I didn't know what to do for fenders. I didn't find anything I liked and that would fit, because I kind of built this trailer backwards. I built the floor, and then I built the walls. We just screwed everything together, and the fenders weren't there yet. They were a hole in the trailer until almost the very end. And what am I going to do? Figured maybe I'll just build a box and put some fender flares around it. And then I measured a 55-gallon drum, and I'm like, man, that's going to fit perfect. So I ended up getting that drum, cut it in half so that fender well is completely watertight. That was kind of neat to kind of discover that. It was a real shot in the dark, and man, did it turn out good. Can't stand on it, but I didn't really build this trailer to carry any luggage on top. I mean, we do have kayaks, but those will go in the back of the truck there. Yeah, I didn't build it to put anything on top. It's really, when we travel, most of the stuff goes in the back of the truck. I've got these totes here with our camping gear. That's another reason I like this flip-up mattress, is I can flip this up and I can slide those totes in here, again, for more tongue weight, to help stabilize this trailer a little better. Those two totes fit perfectly right in the front there. I have an easy up. As you can see, I still have the cover to the easy up there. We had to dry that out after last trip. But the easy up will slide right in there behind the totes. It fits perfectly. Solar panel. I got a portable solar panel that I just gator clip right to the batteries. 140 watt solar panel. Really, I mean, that's all we need. I would like 200 watts. But that 140 watt panel really does everything I need. I may mount a panel up here or two, maybe a couple 200 watt panels. I don't know yet. Like I said, that solar panel does what it needs to do. There's not a bunch of electronics in this trailer that are really going to deplete this battery. So really no need for more solar. You know, the truck charges these two batteries up when we're driving, and really the only things that we're plugging in is our phones at nighttime to let them charge up, and if it's cooler, we got that little inverter. Let me show you that. I believe I pulled it out. I've had it for years. Might get a Jackery or a Blue Eddy. I don't know. I like those. I've watched a lot of YouTubers have those. That may be an option for us. But for right now, I got that 12 volt plug there. This plugs in. It's a little janky, but it works. I got to fix that. but it does work. It's a little, 150 watts is maximum. So it works perfect for the little bed heater that we have. Like I said, that thing's 105 watts. So if we're out boondocking, that little inverter does well. Does well enough to hold a good power for our little heated mattress pad there. I did install, as you seen when I was down here too, I forgot to mention that. Those are some reverse lights. So when we're backing up into the site at nighttime, which is very common, that lights up everything behind me. Those are a couple bright little lights right there. So that backs up so I can see. And this trailer, because it's so short, and man, going from a 28-foot trailer, trying to back that into a site, I was a pro at that. Trying to back this thing into a site, it's a good thing I can disconnect it from the truck and roll it around, because backing up gets really, really tricky with this little guy. So I got some learning to do there. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. A lot of things I want to do. Toolbox, some more shelvings and some hooks on the inside. Thought about getting some 12-volt lights underneath, kind of like rock lights or some of those LED strip lights underneath for some flare, but yeah, I don't know about that. It's not really needed. Gray Wolf sticker, you probably noticed that. So our old trailer was a Gray Wolf. I was going to replace that sticker, the decal, and I never did. I never got it done before I sold it. So we had that laying around, and I'm like, why not throw it on the front of the trailer? Give some flair to it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this little build. It's I named it Gojo. And my name's Joey, and this thing is gonna go wherever the hell I want it to. Now, granted, I got a big lifted truck there. I should have did some better off-road capabilities here with what we like, where we like to go. But for my first build, I think this is really gonna do what I want it to do. I'm honestly, I love this trailer, but I'm looking forward to a second build. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with the utility trailer build just to have the shell, and start from there. I got limited space in my garage here. I got about 7 feet of opening height, so I got to keep it short. But I don't know. This may be the trailer that sticks with us for a while. I like it. I do got to come up with some storage solutions, especially in the kitchen. Right now, all of our silverware and dishes and stuff is inside our totes there, which is fine. It's just I have to pack it and unpack it every time. Not a big deal, but it's just if we do dishes at home and happen to forget something, I'd rather just keep it in the trailer and not have to worry about it. That way we can just hook up and go. But yeah, for now, the totes work. It's got everything in there. We got our tables. I got all of our camping necessities. Really, everything you see here, minus the Amazon boxes and everything you see here really is what we take with us. I got a big camp mat too. I got some tarps for our easy up. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm really looking forward to some adventures with this. It was really cool. Again, really grateful for everybody that had a hand in helping me out with this. The metal siding especially, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with that, but when my buddy showed me that and it was rad, I'm like, oh, that matches my truck. Yeah, that's going to be cool. So, yeah, there it is, my little Gojo.